All right, Cigar Saturday back tonight. We're all having some fun here. I'm Tom Fischer. We have Matty joining us from Matty Rock. You're there at Sanja's, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No
And,
place like home, baby.
Yeah, and our special guest, Sean Keever, barbecue man, Boom Boom, the barbecue. He's joining us from upstate New York. And what's everybody up to? What's been going on? And it's good to see everybody joining us. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Absolutely. I think we got the most. I think the person with the most stuff to talk about is Mr. Keever, because all of my friends who like his tasty treats, he may have some new information that he wants to share with you. Take it away there, Sean.
Right.
Well, as you know, I traveled the country for the past 20 years doing competition barbecues and stuff. And everybody always asked me, when are you going to open up a restaurant? And I said, do you not like me? Was my typical answer. Because if there's one thing I learned in those 20 years, it's what it took to run a restaurant. But that being said, the universe threw enough signs my way that we could not resist it anymore. And we will be opening up the new Hudson Royal Craft Barbecue and Wood-Fired Grill here in Poughkeepsie, New York, probably late winter, early spring of this year. Yeah, we're super excited about it. Like I said, the universe threw us enough signs. I was actually with my partner buying a building that was an existing barbecue restaurant. This location has been a existing restaurant since the 50s. It's always been successful there. We were going to flip the building. It's really all we wanted to do. In the middle of that, a friend of mine who's an executive chef here at one of the local breweries, who I've known since she was about 10 years old. She's a second generation Kansas City pitmaster. I competed against her parents for 20 years. She came out here to Hyde Park, went to the Culinary Institute 12 years ago and never left.
Wow.
Well, she's texted me in the middle of this and says, listen, I'm back in KC visiting mom right now. I'm here at Slaps Barbecue. I so miss it. We really need to do something like this in the Hudson Valley. And she goes, in Poughkeepsie. And I was like, well, be careful what you ask for. Because, and I told her what we had going on. She's like, oh, I'm in. 2 weeks later, we find out that my partner's niece, who was the front of the house beverage manager at one of our larger catering places here, she left. She didn't like it anymore there, so she left, and she was tending bar at the Elks Club. So we're like, we already have a back of the house. Heather, what do you think about coming and doing the front of the house for us? So my partner and I have realized that, being old fat men that we are, even though we know we can't be in there doing the day in, day out, we have two really, really talented people here. So everything's kind of meshing together, and hopefully we're going to be able to give them the tools that they need. They can run with it. We all sat down. We have the same concept in mind, a little bit more of an upscale barbecue, wood-fired grill restaurant, Kansas City style. I have a CIA-trained second-generation Kansas City pitmaster. Not many people have that in their back pocket, Lauren comes from a barbecue family. Her mother, Betsy, actually won years ago when they had the first All-Star Barbecue Showdown on television, where all of these guys, Myron Mixon came out of, I think Tuffy Stone came out of there, a couple other people. Well, the people nobody remembers are Betsy Masters. Betsy Masters is Lauren's mom. She won that contest and won $25,000. So, Lauren likes to say she's been doing pitmaster since she's been in the womb. And it's great to see. And, we plan on having a great drink menu, Tom. We're going to have you up. We'll have to share some spirits. Matty, we're going to be doing some kind of cigar barbecue outside.
Damn skippy we are.
Yeah.
So I met this young lady, worked her tail off at out of Texas at Savage Feast. And then kind of what Sean said, is running circles around us old fat guys. So not only do you have somebody who's highly capable and highly talented, when we're ready to go to sleep at 5:37 p.m., she's definitely got the energy to make things happen.
Yeah, she does. And that was her introduction to our world. And it's kind of funny because we just glossed over that, the Savage Feast. That Savage Feast was a savage feast. What a great time.
I'm still tired
there. I don't know if you've told everybody about that, Matty, but it was the Drew Estate Savage Feast down in Dallas. We were down there. You had all the pit masters that did the thing. They were cooking up their hogs. We were smashing burgers left and right. We smashed, I think, something like 600 burgers.
That was just mine, Tom.
Yeah,
it's just Matty's portion.
I thought that was just his supply. That's right.
Yeah, that was Matty and the Cigar for Warriors people too. That little guy gets hungry every once in a while.
Yeah.
yeah. You throw stuff at him, he jumps for Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we have going on here.
It's a big announcement, everybody. Again, you've heard it here first. Sean Keever at doing something incredible. Again, it will be in which town?
It's right in Poughkeepsie.
It's going to be in Poughkeepsie. Okay.
Avenue. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's a half a block away from Vassar College.
Right. Oh, it'll be. You're going to have a lot of students that'll be just loving that. They'll never want to leave.
Yeah. And it's great too. If you're not familiar with Vassar, it is not a state school. The kids there aren't usually. They don't have mommy and daddy's, debit card. They might have the black card.
Okay. So we're going to come up with some good bourbon cocktails, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We are.
Yeah. I thought entirely different. I thought I'm going to be up there with the ski mask, and when I hear cards that go clink, I'm just going to knock them over there. I mean, what do you want? That's just how I think. I mean, all right, so you know what? It's good for all of us is what you're saying.
That's right. If they show up with the black card, I might not leave. I'll just have them keep buying me drinks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
George, hey, some great people. George Morosky. Hey, George sent me a picture of a bourbon he was having. It's some Frey Ranch. I saw that, George. Thanks for sending that to me. I was going to reply back. I see Glenn watching. I see Sean Ryan. I see Randy. So, hey, everybody watching, take a moment, like this, share this. We're just so glad to be back with you. I wish I had a cigar in hand. It's too cold to be outside tonight where I am. What's it like there, Matty? You said it's not
actually. It's weird. It's almost balmy, right, Sean? By down here, it's 50. It's 54. It rained like a mofo all day, but it stayed warm. So it's weird. It's getting windy now. It probably dropped a few degrees, but temperature wasn't the problem here, man. It was the rain. Mother Nature's like, I'm all fucked up lately. You guys are now Seattle. So we're kind of getting the whole Seattle dreary, rain all day. 54.
It was definitely a washout today. Festival, I was hoping to vend at it. Yeah. We didn't do anything. It was
washed out for you then.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, just washed out. And it's the holiday festival too. So if had it snowed, been a little bit cooler, everybody would have been out and loving it because they're waiting for Santa to come by and they need warm treats.
No, I don't want snow. Screw that. Unless Santa's cleaning out my goddamn driveway, I don't want any of that stuff. Nah, humbug, bro. Nah. Keep that snow.
I am doing something kind of smoky though inside. I really like this one. It's a double oaked and it's done in a smoked barrel that's been influenced with a lot of different woods. It's a smoked rye from our friends in Indiana, Hard Truth. So I'm getting some of that nice smoke on the whiskey. I understand. You're trying to make a whiskey decision there, Sean, or you kind of went both ways? What are you thinking?
I started out with the barrel.
Did the barrel show us what you got there?
So this is a barrel. This was a private selection for the Creekstone Farms crew last year that they got for their chef's tour. Typically I help them out with their chef's tour. I go in and they bring chefs from around the country to view their plant. Right. And they usually get a case or something like that of a nice bottling to share with their chefs and the people who take part in it. And this is pretty good. This is it is a whiskey finished in Oloroso sherry barrels.
That's so beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, the Oloroso sherry is one of my favorites. Hill Rock
nicely.
whiskey, which is right up the road here, does a lot with them.
Yes.
I love
the Oloroso sherry, and I love what Hill Rock does. It's
yeah. So you're getting a smoky sweetness out of that, right? With the sherry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. So this is it says the AJ66 blend. 119 bottles were here.
And not too. It's very limited.
Yeah, and it is a 124 proof. I like the higher proof stuff.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it. But it's not hot like a lot of the higher proof stuff. I've always been very impressed with any of the products that Barrel has put out.
Yeah, they do phenomenal.
They do a great job, really, really do. And it's a bit of mad scientist kind of warlock work where they're just doing the combinations. But they do a really good job, really nice job with it.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that, and they do it.
They do some wonderful rum barrels, sherry. They do a little bit of everything. They've done some really interesting experiments. And when you say it's honest, I mean, this is the interesting thing. I think I'm finding so many more of us are saying that, hey, it's 120 proof. It doesn't taste like it, doesn't feel like it. What those distillers are doing has been so nice. I mean, they've learned more and more how to take those flavors, how to distill it, how to age it to where it won't feel like it's just burning in our mouths. It's either that, I think, and or a little bit of we've all gotten used to higher proofs and we're kind of numb to it. I think it's a blend of both.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think I like to give those blenders, their credit and their due. Definitely for sure, because there's some I've tasted, as you have too, that you're like, woo. Let me bump up the octane in the Hellcat with this one.
I can light my pee on fire.
Wow. Rocket fuel. And especially now, everybody's kind of jumping into it, and it's a great thing. And we all know the whiskey boom. But there really are the cream rises to the top, and the artisans definitely show that they show their skill with this kind of stuff. And I'm a big fan of a lot of the blenders.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody complains about, well, they didn't distill it themselves. And to me, that's not a big deal. As long as you disclose that, you're not saying that you did and buying it from somewhere else. In Ireland and Scotland, blenders have been around for centuries.
They've been rolling for a while. Yeah, as long as they're doing something that tastes good, that's what matters. Well, I'm glad you're starting at the barrel. I hear that Sean may also have a very special holiday whiskey he's going to try here in a few minutes. He's maybe going to crack into something else good, right? I hear. We'll let you tell him. We'll let you surprise him in a little while.
Yeah, we won't get to that yet.
We'll leave the anticipation. Matty, what are you smoking there, brother? What are you trying?
I'm imbuing a nothing because I had about 87 cups of coffee today, and I'm literally ready to come out of my own skin. But what I am puffing on is our friend here from our boy Sanj and Chico Rivas, the SP 1014 Red. And you guys know that I stick with my Lancero size. So sitting back, chilling, enjoying that. So like I said, it would have been warm enough. If it wasn't windy or rainy, it would have been warm enough to have poked my head outside, maybe gotten my 30th coffee for the day. But the rain and me being lazy and stuff and old and tired kind of slowed that down.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me too. We had the event today, got back a little bit late, so I am actually in the house and not in my man cave above the garage, so I can't smoke with you today, but I was. Look at this.
Look, he has this
here.
We got to get into bench day, brother, before it gets too cold.
Limited edition. Good evening.
What's up there, Small?
Matty, tell the people what we got going on here.
He dropped out the all decked out, the Undercrown 10. And like I said, that was quite stick was quite an achievement. Like I said, for anybody who loves Undercrowns, the 10 is really the pinnacle of the blend. It's probably about a half a kick stronger. The body on it is beautiful. You still get the sweetness that you've come to expect out of the Undercrown Maduro. Like I said, a little bit fuller body, absolute gem of a stick. to me, that was one of the highlights of what's been put out lately. Of course, the other big bad mofo that was put out lately is Drew Estate went to work with Mr. James Hetfield from Metallica. And I think you guys saw when I was out in Vegas that Blackened was released to the world. So that was pretty good. That was probably the last big event for the year out at Big Smoke in Vegas. And so that was a good way to christen that cigar. So next time we guys all meet up online, we'll be smoking a couple of Blackens. I love it. Triple Maduro, a medium full, classic Puro. I think absolutely incredible cigar, great construction, great mouthfeel. And like I said, everybody knows I love my Maduro. So when you come out with a triple Maduro, I'm a happy camper.
It is something else. I was so glad to see Dietrich, Rob Dietrich there, our good friend from Blacken when it was launched. Well, I guess the first place that rolled out was it Kentucky? Is that where it was? And then
so when you guys got in the
we were in Kentucky,
got in the soft pack, you saw the cigars in there. We got
so good.
We were first treated to be able to smoke it there.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, the actual release was at Savage Feast.
So good.
Yeah, Sean will tell you they were handing those out there. So that was we had our friends from Black and Whiskey were there. We had the Blackened cigars from there. So that was really where it was christened first and then brought to the market out at Big Smoke Vegas. So like I said, expecting great things from it. And the more you read, the cooler you see how it is, because James Hetfield really was deeply involved in the blend and everything else. It's not just something that a celebrity tied a name to and ran away. So, that's what makes things pretty cool. So I love when you hear stories like that the person involved is legitimately involved, not by name, but actually by putting in some blood, sweat, and tears in the project too. And he did. So really, really cool stuff. Like I said, that was the last big event of the year. We had a couple little ones pop up, little events here and there. 2 weeks ago, we were at JR in Paramus. We did a nice event with Olive Boy, Robert Austin Cho, cooked up some stuff. We had our boys from Hackensack Brewing that were on. Mike was on fire. He brought a couple of new beers over there that we paired up with the food. And like I said, now it's going to be quiet. We're going to be keeping an eye out on Sean. Sean's going to be doing some burger pop-ups, places like JR as well. So that's something that's coming.
We're going to see a few other places before the year ends. Then, Sean, where will we be seeing you?
Yep. Either Sean, your screen is frozen, or that is the longest pull on a drink I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think he is deeply tasting that, and he's tasting it so much he left us. He's like, this tastes so good.
I was gonna say that was an interesting freeze frame that we'll have to. I feel a picture of that going up on Facebook later.
I feel like maybe Matty and I should have a dance or something we do when people freeze and leave, that every time we should have kind of what should we do? Should we spin? Should we
do something like the Pee Wee Herman thing? Frozen internet.
That's what we should have a new thing we incorporate, just to, it's like a drinking game almost, except it's us making fools of ourselves.
Oh, we got our boy Mr. Mario in the house here.
All right, hey Mario, what's happening?
Good evening, guys. What's up, Tom? How are you, buddy?
How's everything at the Map Studios?
Everything. I'm working on a collection, a new series called Small Treasures. Tesoros Pequeño. I'm just exploring, man. I got to keep it. I got to keep the wheel moving and make sure it's greased.
Nice. Well, we're always glad to see you, and always enjoy the art. Everything you post is always so much fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got some things.
We'll be seeing more of your art on the new SP 1014, right?
What was that?
More of your art on the new SP 1014, right?
Yes.
Look at that. Perfect timing.
You froze while you were sipping a long drink there, Sean.
Sean, that was the perfect place to freeze. I'm like, you are really enjoying that sip and awful. We had this for about 30 seconds. We're like, all right, Sean, we know it's good. Sean, we know it's Sean. Stop. We get it. It's really good. And then that was it.
Yeah, man. All right, Tom, I'm going to let you guys go. Always a pleasure, man. We're here, baby.
All
Bourbon
right,
Block,
right.
rocking.
Cheers, man. He's gonna freeze again for us.
Sorry.
All right. We love that, though. That was good. That's going to go online later. Hey, Sean? Hey, Sean? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be your frame shot. That's going to be a frame shot later.
Up here in the hinterlands, we have things that freeze up every once in a while,
But before you froze, Sean, I was letting him know that a couple things that Sean's working up too, because we all know that Sean slings some mean-ass burgers. So I'm going to start doing some stuff over at JR. So we're going to do stuff.
Stop.
The first thing we're going to do is buy Sean new internet.
Yeah. So I literally live on the end of this cul-de-sac here up in the woods. We bought our house from a gentleman who was a computer science professor at Vassar College. There was no internet here whatsoever. I lived here. I retired from Verizon. I used to come here with my work phone, wouldn't work. My cell phone's an AT&T phone, it wouldn't work. My best friend in the barbecue world, Andy Groneman, who now works for Creekstone Farms, worked for Sprint. He would come here, and it was a black hole. And
good place to escape, right?
Well, it really was. When 24 years in telecom, you really wanted to be down here in the holler and not go anywhere. But my next door neighbor ruined it. He was the land manager for one of the county school districts. So he needed internet access. And he had at least a cable modem brought up the block because we didn't even have that out here in the country. I know it's odd, right? You're in Kentucky, right, Tom?
Yeah, right. The border of Indiana, Kentucky. Yeah. I mean, you've only cut out once, so it's it's all right.
All right, it's all right. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You can just can have them.
Yeah, but what we're really trying to do is get down there and do some pop-ups, right? Smash some burgers, especially incorporated with a little football, some good bourbon, some cigars.
Yeah.
That's just a good time for me. And it's a great time for football here in New York.
Yes.
I'm a huge Giants
I don't have to cry every time I watch a Jets game and cry myself to sleep. And that's a pretty rare occurrence.
Listen, the Giants are punching above their weight. They really are. But I watched the Jet game last week. The Jets have a nice squad. I'm not a Jet hater by any stretch. And it's good to see that excitement. We haven't had football excitement here in a while. So
it's usually you're watching football. Good. It was good for you. It's like
yeah. I know.
So it's nice to have a little bit of joy.
It is. It definitely is. Speaking of a little bit of joy, I had a little flex that I wanted to show you here, Matty.
All right.
I don't know if you know what these are.
Attaboy.
Huh? Yeah. Huh? So these just came in the mail the other day.
Yep.
Oh, look at those.
When the puma meets the pigeon, kids.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, they haven't even been broken in yet. They're that fresh.
Nope. I want to be a sneakerhead like you, Matty. You know what I mean?
We're a bunch of sneakerheads, so stuff like this, right? Tom, very much excites us.
No, I'm excited for you. I really am.
Yep. When people look at me and I'm like, hey, I got the new Benbury Crocs, and they just kind of frown. I'm like, but they're Crocs and they're Benburys, and you just get the same vacant look. I'm like, but they're Benburys and Crocs. They're like, all right, Matty, not some of our favorite footwear that you've kicked out. Keep it up with the everybody loves the Staple Pigeon stuff. Now that Sean did that too with the Pumas. Staple Pigeon, Tom. This is one that Tom might actually care about. Staple Pigeon teamed up with Cole Haan, Tom. So
nice.
They made a nice line. You saw those kicks, right, Sean?
Right, I did.
Except the problem is they don't appreciate friggin'
not for the big
woolly
man.
mammoths like Besa. They don't have size 14s for Goon Squad, but so I have to live vicariously through other people who own those.
That's really cool. So this is a very collectible shoe you have there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I guess as far as shoes go, I haven't got quite that bad yet, Tom. I've got whiskey collection, cigar, wine.
Well, you could even put a glass of whiskey into that and then use the shoe to put your collections together that way.
I don't know if you know this, but I did play rugby till I was 38 years old. And shooting the boot is a tradition.
That is something that's done, yeah.
There's no glass in there, though. It was just straight in the door.
Right in.
I don't know, but you have to keep the tradition alive, man. I mean, there's a reason. There's an extra 5 years added onto that rugby career just because of the tradition.
I mean, nobody's done this in the world of whiskey yet. We've done the ocean bourbons aged and around the sea, but I mean, aging in a shoe and actually releasing it could be something we should do. It really could.
Yes.
Be. Actually, a real shoe.
Remember, there was a, I believe it was a Woodford Masters distiller collaboration that came out some years ago that was just, it was not good. I think they even admitted it was like not good, and that's kind of what everybody compared it to.
That it sometimes
aged
like leather or like a rubber sole. I mean, that's going to happen. I don't know which one that was, but it can happen. There can be a shoe-like note or Band-Aid like note in Scotch. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yum.
Feet. I mean, I haven't seen feet on many flavor wheels, but it could be on some.
Just cheese, and I don't think you want to. I don't think that's something. Now introducing by Woodford Reserve, the Limburger barrel age. Ooh, that's just terrible.
Dirty sock filtered.
Dirty sock. That's right.
Yeah.
So many good people watching. I see so many of our friends watching. A lot of you we know, and a lot of you are just tuning in for the first time. So take a moment, like this video, share it, follow us. We do this just about every Saturday. And some exciting news again. I want to make sure for those of you just joining us, Sean is announcing tonight the new establishment. Tell us the name and when we should be watching for it, Sean.
Hudson Royal Craft Barbecue and Wood Fire Grill here in Poughkeepsie, New York. We're going to be opening up late December, early spring, hoping in March. I, being the Irishman, would love to be open for St. Patty's Day.
That
would be great for me.
For that. Yeah.
That would be a great party. But, we want to take our time. We only get this one shot to make a first impression on everybody. And we're kind of swinging for the fences with this. Like I said, we got a great team lined up. I have the culinary vision. My partner is a builder. So, he's complaining that the trim is in the wrong spot. It should be at 48 inches, not 52. So where the things bother me in the kitchen, he has that same eye for detail outside. So he wants everything to be perfect. And we want it to be, a mashup of a good barbecue place that you've had some of the best barbecue you've ever had, an Irish bar here in New York, and a steakhouse. Right. Take that all up, rattle it all up, and come on in. We're going to have a bar side and a dining room side. Bar side will be tons of TVs. We'll be having all the games. We'll definitely be showing all the New York rugby games. Yeah. And we'll definitely show the U.S. men's national team who went out to Denmark today, because I don't know if you know, the captain, Tyler Adams, is a local native here. From Wappingers Falls right here.
Very nice.
So, home raised. We're very proud of him, even if they did bow out early a little bit this year.
Tyler from that area.
Super excited about it. Thanks for letting me come on and talk about it. We want to have everybody here. We like having a good time.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're already ready for me to throw a party there. That's what I'm hearing.
That's exactly what I just said, Matty. Thank you for reading between the lines. I was hoping that was going to come up in the subtitles.
That's what I'm getting. So you heard that, guys and gals. So March, April, we're going to go throw up an event at Sean's place, help Chris in the place, help me gain another 30 pounds, because that's what I do best.
Love it. We're going to fatten you up before then, doing these events down there closer to you. It's a shame. I really apologize we couldn't get the one off this Sunday that we wanted to. But Jersey has some hoops that we're going to have to jump through, more than I found typical other places. But now we know what they are. You know what I mean? So we'll get them jumped through. And it's probably a good time in January to start kicking off something like that. Because, like I said, I'm a huge football fan. And we haven't had this much fun in football season around here in a long time.
We have not. And what's better for playoffs than actually New York teams being in it and smash burgers and ribs and stuff? And the answer to that question is there is not anything better.
Yeah. Well, unless you throw in some cigars and good whiskey with it.
That's right.
You know what? I would say the only thing that would make it better is if you threw in some cigars and good whiskey and then, oh my God, holy shit, you're right. Yeah, if you don't go to that, you're crazy.
Huh. Maybe a coffee or two even. Yeah. We might even know a guy. We might even know somebody.
I'm just waiting for the craft root beers. I already told our boy at Hackensack Brewing, I'm like, I'm not saying that you should have a craft root beer for me, but I'm kind of saying that you should have a craft root beer for me. Yeah. No pressure if you're listening, Mike, but I'm kind of pressuring you, but no pressure.
It's funny.
No, really, Tom, I'm pressuring him.
We were talking about, beverages and stuff. And in our restaurant, we want to try to keep it as local as possible. It's going to be tough with beef. No offense to my local neighbors here in Dutchess County. Yeah. We just don't do beef as well as they do. When I'm very well good friends and connected with the Creekstone Farms people, it's just not going to happen. But we have some good local pork producers. We have good local whiskeys. We have great local, great local beers that are here that are famous. But what I was trying to say to somebody, I'm like, how come we don't have local sodas? How come we just don't have the local soda company like the Kutztown making I want a Dr. Brown's, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. I don't want just a Coke or a Diet Pepsi, right?
Now you smell what The Rock is cooking. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, I grabbed it. Tell me the name of the place again. It's called Hudson. What is it going to be called again?
Hudson Royal Craft Barbecue and Wood Fire Grill.
Hudson. Okay. So just in honor of you and this news and in honor of upstate New York, I just grabbed some, because it wasn't too far away, some Hudson whiskey there from
beautiful.
Pouring a little of this. This is a cider cask finished rye that I'm pouring from
cider
Gardner, New York.
Rye.
Yeah, they put the rye in a cider cask that was aging some cider.
That's very interesting because most people don't realize how big of a cider producer that the Hudson Valley is. Angry Orchard.
That's right. That's what makes this so beautiful.
Yeah.
It actually was, Sean. It started literally from the end ridge of New Jersey, like where Tice's farm was back in the day.
Yeah.
So Tice's farm, Tom, it was a really cool place back in the day.
Okay.
They had acres and acres, as Sean's smiling because he remembers. It was acres and acres and acres of apple groves, a huge running farm. You'd actually be there and you'd watch they actually had an old water wheel that would power the press that had to be from, the late 1800s, early 1900s, power in the press. They'd make fresh cider all day and was one of the first places that you had people like, what are cider donuts? And that was really one of the places in New Jersey where cider donuts wound up popping up. And like I said, and that tradition went up from that area of New Jersey, literally up in a straight line, up to right where Sean is.
Yeah. Well up through the Hudson Valley. If we flash back 100 years and you look at the Hudson Valley was one of the larger producers of hops in the country for the beer. The apple orchards are everywhere. And it was during Prohibition time. So there were stills all over, up and down through the Hudson Valley here. I don't know if you remember, they had Dutch Schultz's place was up here and they did some ground penetrating radar. They found it. They were looking for his, and it turned out to be one of those Geraldo kind of things where they opened up Al Capone's tomb and there's nothing there. But there is, all of that stuff. And that's a tradition that's coming back around now in the world of the craft artisans.
That's right.
It really, really is. And it's great to see that we've gotten, kind of, it's circular, definitely is. We have a lot of great whiskeys here in the Valley. We were talking about Blackened earlier, and you're saying about how James Hetfield put his heart and soul into that cigar. I know for a fact they did the same with their whiskey. With their whiskey, they sought out Dave Pickerel. As a matter of fact, I was having a private tasting with Dave at the Hill Rock Distillery. Shortly before he passed away, he was actually flying out to meet Metallica for the press photos. They were doing their release of the whiskey at the time. And their whiskey is actually distilled on Hill Rock's old still. Hill Rock expanded their production, and because of the Dave Pickerel connection, that's where they got their still.
Right.
So, they didn't just start out like YouTubing how to make whiskey, and they didn't do the same with their cigar. And that cigar is absolutely fabulous. It really, really is. I enjoyed it a whole lot when I was there.
Yeah. No, and
speaking of cigars, I have Sanju just ran back, so I want to. He's going to give a quick fill-in because Tom, you were just asking about the.
Yes, let's get Sanj on here.
Instead of me telling you,
Sanj, what's going on, Sanj?
Good to see you,
brother. How are you?
We're great.
Good to see you, man.
Likewise, Tom. How's everything?
Yeah. No, it's going well, and we're so excited about the SP 1014 Black that's coming soon. I hear you have an update.
Me too. But unfortunate thing happened, right? So they actually just started banding and packaging on Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Okay.
So hopefully they get everything done by this Wednesday and they ship it out, because December 15th, most of the companies in DR, they shut down due to Christmas, and they don't come back until January 10th, because they don't celebrate our Christmas. They celebrate the Three Kings. So I'm waiting. I'm excited. I'm ready. Everything on our side is ready. So I'm hoping to launch it again on January 7th, because if I get it, from now until end of December, then we're just going to wait for my anniversary, which is January 7th, 31 years.
Yeah. Wow. So we're looking towards January now, right? January?
Yeah, because, even if they get it done by 15th, they ship it, it's going to take good 8 business days. So no sense releasing anything. Just wait, a week more and just do a, big party, launch party.
So when are we the party will happen then?
I'm sorry?
When do we think the party will happen then?
January 7th.
January 7th will be the party.
Yeah, because that's my 31-year anniversary for the shop.
All right. And then the cigar will be in on the 7th, you said, or on the...
Right, yes.
Nice.
So we launched the red last year on January 7th. This year, January 7th also, remember?
Yes.
Well, let's
get ready for a big party on January 7th. We'll see you here, gentlemen.
Yes,
cheers. Right. That's when it'll be happening. It's well worth the wait. It'll be there. It'll be there soon. We don't have
It'll
to wait
be here before you know it.
Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there. And what are you thinking? What are you most looking forward to about this release then, Sanj?
I'm sorry?
What are you looking forward to about the release as far as this one compared to the last one? What can the folks that tried the original SP 1014, what can they expect?
So a lot of times when a single manufacturer comes out or brand owner comes out with the, multiple cigars, they normally, you could tell that it's made by same guy, right? So it's a different box, different size, different band, but the footprint of the bottom line, you could tell that this is made by so-and-so, this is made by so-and-so. In our case, we have 2 completely different manufacturers. So it's one extreme to the other. So the SP 1014 Black is more like 65-70% dark cocoa, and it has Mexican gajuhu pepper, which has that sweetness to it, and it's very different. I mean, and look, Alario, that's his name itself is gonna kill it. So we don't have cigars, and we have very good response.
Very exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, packaging. I'm actually going to send you, as soon as I have time, I'm going to send you the packaging is done. It's killer.
Amazing.
Nothing in industry like that. Beautiful. Everything 5-pack, 25-pack.
Very nice. Well, I'm excited to hear it. It's coming soon.
Very cool.
We're only a matter of weeks away.
Yes.
The party will be January 7th.
Yes.
And people can come to Sanj's for the party, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And you better buy him fast, or I'm going to buy him up, because I'm a dick. Yeah, that's right. I smoked them before all you. Yeah, I'm not nice, but I got to tell you, it's amazing. You can tell, again, I tell everybody, if they don't know, do their homework, look up Ilario and see what he's done, how he's done it, and who he's done it for. When you get to have one of the living masters, and look, not even Sanj doing this for 3 decades. Use the word master is a pretty big deal.
And the beautiful thing about these cigars, right? So anything this person has involved with it, everything sells $30 to $550 a cigar. The SP 1014, we're bringing it back, the original one from 1992, still with the 1992 pricing. So it's $9, $10, $11, and $12 MSRP. That's the retail price. So today, for that kind of price, there's nothing in the market.
That's super.
That's amazing what you're doing, Sanj. We're looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Just like SP Red, it's a blessing everywhere. We don't have a single person saying anything negative about anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great smoke. I love it.
Yeah, unfortunate
really
thing is we can produce, the way people want it, and I refuse to do it.
Right.
Well, this is what we're going back to what we're talking about, the whiskey blenders, and it's the same with cigars. And you get those master blenders. There's people that are good, then there's people who are craftsmen, and there's people who are artisans, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these aren't mass production people,
Right.
They may have been at one time, but they want to kick back a little bit and they want to do something. They want to do it on their own terms because they know they're very good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, look, let's be honest. When something gets too big, regardless of the industry, corporate America is going to do things to it that the person's probably original intent wasn't there, and he doesn't need to do that.
I'm gonna have to go. My kids are here. They're hungry. Their food's being ordered. I gotta pick it up.
What do we get?
Good night,
brother.
Good night, Sanj.
Yeah, we don't want Sanj on film to get beat up for food. So
we don't need hangry Sanj kids.
I know. No, we won't. We never get in between kids and their food. I mean, shit. No one would be between me and my food, so you don't want to get in between kids.
Right.
No.
Right, we do. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy, he got so mad at me when I dropped you off that tomahawk down at the Savage Feast.
Yeah.
He did. Everybody seemed to feel there was a lot of bribery going on, and poor Sean wasn't. Sean wasn't even in the mix for that. Sean's like, I'm like, don't hate me. I'm like, I'm slinging burgers over here, man. I'm not up there.
Yeah, I'm like, this is just one of the sponsors. Wanted to make sure he got some stuff. Wanted to make sure everybody got to taste it. But it was kind of funny. So Tom, I have moved on.
Fiery, man.
Sean he's moved on too. What is it? What do you have there? The Midwinter's Night Dram.
Winter's Night Dram
by High West.
By High West.
It's such a rare release, and it's harder and harder to find than it used to be. Look, tell us down below if you've tried it. I've tried it. It is delicious. Port wine barrel finish.
Gorgeous.
It's kind of the Shakespeare theme carries into it because of the act scene, the different years they've done. What they've done is amazing.
Yep. I'm fortunate enough. I have a friend who has a friend who has a friend.
Yeah.
To get that bottle, but it's special. It really is. It's nice. So cheers. It's not quite midwinters. It's the start of the winters, but it is the holiday season, and I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
It is.
And,
we're all gonna get warmed up.
Christmas is coming up, so I've been eating since Thanksgiving. I'll stop right around Super Bowl-ish is when I really stop eating these days.
And then you'll stop for a day or two, or what will happen?
So I dropped the ish. Oh, let's see if you freeze in that position again.
We're gonna see if he does the freezing. If he does, we have to. He did freeze.
Or is messing with us.
Or is this freeze? This is freeze modeling at its best.
Yeah.
He knows how to freeze it.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I better say he really froze well then. He just wanted to see
I planned that, right?
Working on it.
It's almost like I planned it.
Yeah, that's good.
And then for next week, we're gonna have since Sanj's stuff is coming to fruition, I'm gonna have Sanj and Rolla on, and also Chico Rivas if he's available. So for next week, that'll be our guests. And then the following week, our friend Mike Jones from Hackensack Brewing will be on.
So, Hackensack Brewing.
Yeah, see, there we go. So we're always talking about Tom's world of the of bourbons and whiskeys and ryes. Now we're gonna have one of the beer boys on there.
I love it. So Rula and Chico Rivas will be on.
Yep, we're gonna see if Chico could squeeze it into his schedule, and then again it'll give the opportunity for everybody, and then Rola's opinion on everything, obviously on the other side of the world, which is great, and that'll be the final push to talk about SPs. And again, the following week will be Mike Jones from Hackensack, and the week after that will be Christmas time. So I don't know what everyone's doing. I don't know if anyone wants us faces for the holidays. I mean, I would. I think it makes a great greeting card, but I don't know.
Does.
So
really
stay tuned if we have a Christmas version.
We may just Christmas Day is on what day this year?
I believe it is Christmas itself is on Saturday.
Oh, is it on Saturday? Okay, so we can actually.
I believe it's Saturday.
We could even do a
no Christmas not Sunday.
maybe.
No, that's one Christmas Eve. No, yeah, Christmas. So it'll be Christmas Eve.
We could do a holiday version and maybe even pre-record and just bust
I could dress up in fabulous Christmas attire, so it just gives me a reason to dress like that. So I probably
like it. I like it. We can come up with a little holiday cocktail and a holiday cigar. Maybe even some holiday barbecue. What would be a holiday themed barbecue we could do there, Sean?
Well, a smoked prime rib at that time of the year.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Three of our favorites here are definitely that is we love to do that for the holidays. We also love to do a smoked porchetta.
Oh yeah.
It's just and a smoked leg of lamb. Whichever way you want to do it. There's a great Pat LaFrida has this spider cut kind of tarantula looking leg of lamb where they leave all of the bones in Frenched. So it's like this with the meat down, and it makes the best presentation. It's all wow factor. I don't know that it adds anything to the flavor. You still have to prepare it correctly. And it's kind of hard because it goes from small to large. But when you put it on the table, it definitely gets a wow factor. People are wow.
You know what? I think that'll be a fun guest. I got to get Pat to come on.
Yeah.
So Pat, Tom, if you're from the New Jersey, New York area, you know him as kind of, and Sean will attest to, kind of your god of meat. Put it this way: if Luger's runs out of, they go to Pat LaFrida. So that right there should say something. When an institution will turn to Pat LaFrida, that's a pretty big deal. So the fine cuts of meat you get over here, he's probably one of the highest end meat purveyors, and this side of the East Coast, I think Sean will probably agree.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. And he also now has I believe it's the world's largest dry aging room. That they just launched that a while ago. It's literally a warehouse.
Yeah, over on Tunnel Ave. Yep.
You think of most dry aging rooms, and it might be a room. David Burke has his fancy one with the salt line walls and all of that stuff. This is literally a warehouse. I just had dinner with the Creekstone beef people who both had recently visited. They said, and this is people who run a beef operation, walked in and said, it is amazing. You walk in and it's like floor to ceiling, like Sam's Club, but it's nothing but steaks as far as you can see on the racks there. Very, very high quality meat, very high quality. And he's got a pretty much a national footprint, I would say now. He's definitely expanded out of here, but he started here in New York, supplies most of the high-end restaurants here in the city. That'd be a great guest. Great guest.
We gotta have him. We just saw Pat a few weeks ago when we did the dining out in New York stuff. So we got to we'll get Pat on, Tom. A lot of fun, and like I said, you're talking about one of the finest purveyors of meat around. So that'll be a fun one too. So all the meat eaters are going to want to drop in on that episode and listen in.
Yes, absolutely. And again, so much more to come next week. Rula and Chico Rivas, probably Chico too, right?
We're going to try for Chico, depending on what his schedule is out there in DR. So it'll be most likely Sanj and Rolla talking about SP 1014. And then, like I said, to lead out the last one, maybe the last one of the year, or we could have our Christmas one. We shall see. And then Mike from Hackensack Brewing. So that's what everybody's got to look forward to for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll do some great stuff. Sean, I'm so excited about your news. Can't wait to.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, you're welcome. Support you in the whiskey, the cocktails, and what you're doing with your new place. Where can people follow you to hear more about what you're doing?
The best place is on Instagram.
Yeah.
At Boom Boom BBQ, right there, or on my my Facebook. Sean Keever is probably the best place to find me. That's the easiest right now. We're going to be launching our own Hudson Royal social media here in a little bit, but we're holding off on that. Once again, we want to make a big kind of splash impression, and as you guys well know, social media has evolved much more from the, hey, this is me.
Right.
And it's become very commercial and very polished, and we want to be that person. We want to be polished.
Yeah.
Wait, polished?
Look at me. Look, I'm handsome, Matty. I'm handsome, Matty. Huh?
Oh,
Well, polished
Yeah.
every once in a while for all of us helps. So I don't know.
Yeah. And listen, Matty, I think that you and I are proof that just because we're long-haired freaks doesn't mean we're dirtbags. Well, we are, but that doesn't mean we don't like to eat well, smoke good cigars, and have jobs.
Yeah.
True. And the next time you say that, you have to be wearing a monocle.
Hello. It's funny.
good
I
day,
did this
sir.
back in Germany. I think I can get one over there, right? They probably have them. Yeah.
Yes, outstanding.
This is where to follow Sean there, Boom Boom Barbecue or Sean Keever on Facebook. And so good to see you guys. So good to see all these great folks who've been watching. We'll see you next week. And cheers, Sean. Congrats on the news, man. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, gentlemen. See you soon.
Cheers,
Much love, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll
Cheers.
catch you all next week. Take care.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Good night.